Hi, I'm Pauline. I'm 30, I work in strategy and I'm from Canberra.
My hobbies are traveling. I've been to 29 countries. I was really hoping to get to 30 under 30, but COVID. I also really like board games. I've got about 80 board games and play them pretty often. I'm getting back into running after a 3-year hiatus. Used to be really into running and triathlon, but then stopped. It's been really hard to get back into it. The best thing about Canberra is I really like how walkable and cyclable it is. It feels like a really nice community. You can get anywhere quite quickly. Like when I have to drive more than 20 minutes, it's just such a burden in my life, and that's really nice. I'm originally from Melbourne. I feel like Canberra's also full of a lot of people who are exactly like me, which is nice. There's a lot of people who are just really quite smart and into board games and into traveling and those kinds of things. And, I found a nice gang of people here. If I could travel anywhere right now, it'd probably be to Iceland. I've seen some beautiful photos of Iceland, and I was really wanting to do a road trip around there, again, pre-COVID. But yeah, I think Iceland would be amazing. If I could invite anyone to dinner, well, I'm gonna have to give a Survivor-themed answer. I think Christian Hubicki would be an amazing dinner guest. Also Michelle Fitzgerald. Both of them, I think the conversation and what they've learned from Survivor and their lives in general would be amazing to hear about. And I feel like, just the way that they think as well about Survivor, but also about life, you'd gain a lot from learning about that. An interesting fact about me is that I have an academic interest into queuing. I got really bored of being in queues. No one likes queues. So then I started researching more about queues in general, about the efficiency and how to best set up a queue, both mathematically and also psychologically, which isn't actually the same way. Like, people prefer queues individually that are, that make it feel like they're actually moving faster, even though they're not. But mathematically, it's best to have one long queue. So basically, I'd say the interesting thing about me is that when I get bored or about something, or when something annoys me, I start researching it a lot, and then suddenly I have a fascination with it rather than an annoyance. So I think my friends would describe me as fun and up for anything, but also as quite a bit of a leader in the group. So I'm always the one who's quite organised, like the mum friend. And, if we're going out for dinner, like making sure that we have dinner reservations and those kinds of things. So I got into Survivor, I think, in about 2019. I got my wisdom teeth out and spent a week on the couch doing nothing. I am not a massive fan of TV, but I think maybe season 2 of the new Australian Survivor was on, so I just ended up watching all of that, all of season 1, and was like, oh my goodness, this show is amazing. I'm really into strategy as a person, and yeah, I got really into it. Then I've gone back and watched all the US seasons. I've started watching some of the South African Survivor as well. So my strategy is to be pretty flexible, hopefully, be as social as I can be. I really like people. I'm really interested in people. I have an anthropology background and a Masters of Social Research, so I just really love to get to know people and understand where they're from, what their motivations are, all of those kinds of things, and I think that will be really helpful in Survivor. I think my main strength going into the game is that I am generally quite underestimated. I'm quite short and small, and people will physically overlook me, hopefully, and yeah, not see me coming. I think my biggest weakness is that I do come across as quite intense a lot of the time, so just trying to really downplay that and make myself seem just more casual and just into the background and not someone to be afraid of. I think I will be a bit of a leader, but I'm going to try to downplay that. A lot of people don't really like seeing women, small women, in leadership roles. So, trying to just let other people who might feel like they should be the leader, and then maybe offer them suggestions and things that they might want to do just quietly and let them think that that's their idea. I think I'll be perceived as perhaps more of a villain type character. I am really into winning. I am really quite competitive, and I'm not going to be afraid to make big moves.